hush of dawn, where quiet flows, gentle tides of peace arise and grow, softly chanting, voices blend and sway, guiding hearts to a tranquil bay. Whispers of the silent mind, echoes deep and undefined, subtle tones that calm and bind. In the stillness, truth we find.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, Dominate, Christine, Tracy. Nice to see everybody. Welcome to Tuesday evening of Trance Evidential. Oh, everybody's here now. There we go. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. Hello, Christine. Who said that? Hi, Christine. Thank you. I'm well, Christine. I hope you're well as well. This is a new format we have on the screen, which is cool. I see myself twice. So StreamYard is always upgrading, I see. Hi, Safe Haven. Welcome. So welcome to Trance Evidential on Tuesdays. Those of you who are familiar, I don't really read the chat. So if you're right, like I want to speak to my spirit and everything, I don't focus on that because that brings me back into my conscious mind, my humanness. I'm worrying about you rather than spirit. So I reverse it. I just really connect to the spirit energy, the flow, the essence, the presence around me. Hi, Vic. Welcome. And it's really a beautiful feeling. I'm really feeling so many spirit energies with me, my own auric field, which is incredible. I can't even put into words. It's just, this is what dying feels like. I'm certain of it. Just a sense of peace and love and expansiveness. Oh, it's incredible. It takes all the worries of your day out of the way. Hello, Abedin. Nice to meet you. Welcome. So we're going to begin because I do have two spirits. And it's funny because, hi, Crystal Lee. I was kind of sitting there and connecting with both of them. And I'm trying to figure out if there's two spirits that came in separately or two spirits that are together. So I'm going to start giving you guys what I'm receiving. If you could take it, then please type in the chat box so I know what you could take until we could narrow it down to whoever the sitter is for. And at that point, the connection is even much more powerful. And that's when their essence speaks through me to you directly, a direct message from your loved one. That's always beautiful. And I'm honored to do that, to be their vessel, because I feel a lot of love in that. Sometimes we get stuck with two sitters, which is perfectly fine because, again, two people could have a mother who had a similar personality here on Earth. And that similar personality mirrors the energetic frequency that I receive. So I could have two spirits and the message goes for both of you. So don't worry. It's going to be a lot of fun. We just let spirit lead us. This is a spirit-led trance evidential session. So I have two ladies. One is a grandmother and one is a mother. So again, we're going to go with the fact that they're together right now. If for some reason they're separate, two different people, that's fine too. We're not going to have any rules to follow. I did hear a name. It got stuck here. It's either Amanda or Abigail. But the other one is Peggy. So I'm feeling the older one, the grandmother, would be Abigail or Abigail. Now I just come to Abigail, lost the other name. So Abigail, and Peggy would be the mother. Now I'm sensing one of them was very bubbly and one was very stoic. Now, I think it's reversed. I think the grandmother was very bubbly and life of the party, and the mother was very stoic. Could be my interpretation of it, but one is different from the other in personality. One was also a heavier set woman, and one wasn't. That's what I'm receiving so far. Hey, Michelle. Welcome. So, again, don't get caught up on the names, because if you're thinking like, oh, my grandmother's name wasn't Abigail or Abby, or my mom wasn't Peggy, it doesn't have to be that their name is that. It could be somebody in the living associated to them. So this is what I'm asking you to expand your your memory bank. Also, it's not too much as important the names as the personality. So the personality, like I said, one of them, either grandmother or mother, was much more bubbly. The other one was much more stoic and reserved. Okay. The bubbly one, which I'm sensing is grandma, you didn't feel any restrictions, like free, like you could be yourself. You could always open up. You could always say whatever you wanted. You knew you wouldn't be judged. That's huge. That's a very big word here, judged. With mom, it was more reserved. I think you sensed you're always being judged, and that kind of threw you off a bit. Hi, Haley. Welcome. So you're kind of apprehensive about opening up, truly speaking your truth. Where it's ironic because you actually open up now and speak your truth when she's not alive, because you're assuming and hoping her presence, her essence hears you. Hi, Helen. Welcome. So now both of them had a similar quality to them. This is where it's three mirrors I see. So one, your mother mirrors your grandmother in a lot of ways that you're noticing now, like, wow, that's amazing. They have the same similar qualities, but now you're also mirroring both your mother and your grandmother, and you're not recognizing it yet. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Hi, Sharon. Welcome. Hello, Helen. Okay. And this is where you catch yourself. You'll say, like, oh, my mom. I sound just like my mom. Or, wow, I'm doing the same thing my grandmother used to do. Or very uncanny. You're recognizing now that there's some kind of a link between the generations that is coming down to you. You're calling it DNA, generational link, whatever you're thinking of in your mind. You're just noticing a pattern. So who can understand so far a mother and a grandmother in spirit? Again, I don't hold on to the names Abigail or Amanda. That's what the other name was. Abigail or Amanda or Peggy. But if that helps you, that's great. I want to thank you for that. Hi, Linda. Unfortunately, I don't remember that. The other night I was in trance, so whatever happened was my spirit team. I wasn't aware of that, but I'm glad that you received healing. That's what these sessions are for. Wonderful. Thank you for joining again. You can take this related to your grandmother, Sarah. Wonderful. Mom is not in spirit. Interesting. Abigail is my niece. Okay. Great. Abigail is the grandmother. Okay, fantastic. See, so again, my nana was called Peggy. She was a small lady. She was very ill and passed when I was a wee girl. Okay. Okay, great. It was more like your mom. Okay. Okay, great, Sarah. So your grandmother was more like your mom. So your mom is not in spirit, though. Okay, interesting. So this could be split. Like I said earlier, guys, it doesn't be the same thing. They could be showing me something. So Sarah's grandmother is in spirit, and Abigail is her niece. That's where the name came up, which is perfectly fine. It's a nice link. And Sarah says grandma was more like mom. Exactly. That's what I was shown also. Perfect. And you're very much like your nan, Sarah. Okay, fantastic. Wonderful. Great. So, Sarah, let's stay with you with grandma in spirit, because that's a lot of what I'm receiving. And Peggy. Okay, well, there was one smaller frame woman and one larger frame woman, so that could be it, Peggy. Let's hold Peggy as on the side for a second. Peggy Mitchell. Interesting. Interesting. That's why Peggy came up twice. Sarah, are you watching Peggy now? Is that why it kind of flashed in my mind 3 times already? Are you watching a Peggy now that's making you laugh? Is that what's going on here? So your mom is still living. Yeah, so that's probably what happened. That's probably the Peggy. Okay. Well, this morning, today. It's evidential. That's why it's possibly popping in my mind, because you were thinking about this. What happened? That's probably what Peggy came in as. Where Abigail came in as fantastic. So we definitely have a grandma in spirit. I knew that, and I knew that that was the Abigail name that was very much there. Peggy, okay. Peggy could be what you're watching on TV. That's fine. That's perfect. But why did I think that that's mom in spirit? So the shift here is about mom again. Unless there's another mom here. Maybe there could be another mom mirroring behind what this message is for. So let me just stay with grandma first, because she's the more dominant one here. Sarah, can you understand would it be that your grandma was more bubbly and your mother is more stoic and reserved? Can you understand that dynamic I saw? Or is that reversed? Or can anybody else that mentioned Peggy or like your mom? Hi, Susan, welcome. Who else went up there? Hi, Caroline. Christine. I'm almost here. Okay, both mothers are here. Interesting. Yes, you were spot on. Okay, Sarah. Okay, excellent, Sarah. Thank you. I still have that bubbly personality. So your mom is the stoic one, and your mom is still alive, and you realize that your mom was like your grandmother, you're more like your mother. So if grandma is coming in and I'm sensing a mother's presence, it could also be that mom's spirit is not in spirit, but mom is very much here. But Abigail is shining a spotlight on mom. I could take my mom about anything. Yeah, okay, that's exactly what it is. That's definitely what you can talk to your grandmother about everything, not your mom. She's more stoic. Okay, so this is where grandma is bringing in the focus on your mom. Okay. My nan is my dad's mom. Okay, Sarah. Let's focus on your mom now. That's in the living. That you're realizing that you're more like your mom than you thought you were, and it's ironic how she's bringing this through. Like you're sensing, you still can't talk to your mom. You're still going to get judged. You still know she's going to be opinionated, but you're also seeing that there's a lot in you like that. Where okay, yes, thank you, Sarah. Great. She's saying like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but she's focusing now on you and your mom, this dynamic between you and your mom, and she's going to speak about it in a minute. But the way I'm understanding it, there's a blockage with you, okay, where you realize you are like your mom, and I'm not certain if you have children or you have somebody here that's relying on you. It could be a child, could be a spouse, could be a friend, somebody here that's relying on you more so, and you're being judgmental and opinionated with that person. And what's happening is that you are like your mom because it's carried over. It's just, what you were taught, what you were conditioned. It's not anybody's fault. There's no right or wrong. But the person here that's relying on you is having a difficult time. Okay, is having a difficult. Is there one in particular from your older children? Is there one in particular that may not have their life as perfect as the other ones in your eyes, or maybe struggling more than the other ones in your eyes? And you could sense like they're kind of coming to you like half approaching and half resistant, because they kind of need some support or encouragement or something. And you may not be as soft, but you're more judgmental, because she's making me feel like this one person is relying. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Sarah. And now she's asking you to recognize yourself in their eyes. Recognize yourself, your middle child. I had a feeling it was a middle child. Recognize yourself through their eyes. Notice the pattern. What they're experiencing trying to approach you is what you experience trying to approach your mom. That's what she showed me, 3 mirrors. You understand? In other words, the way you knew you couldn't talk to your mom and sensed it, and you were very apprehensive. You were worried you're going to be judged or spoken to in a different way. Okay. is the daughter the middle child the one that's trying to? I see what you're saying. You're very much alike. That's why you're tougher on her and you're more judgmental with her because you want her to be better than you. I understand. This is what I'm getting because that's exactly how your mother was with you. But on the receiving end, we never see that, do we? So now, okay. They all know they can talk to me about these things. They know it. Yes, I granted. But are you open like that, or are you frustrated? There you go. That's the frustration. That's the part where you get irritated and you get judgmental on them. And she's saying to you, recognize that in your mother. She was the same exact way. So let me just be quiet now. Let her come through and speak. Mm. Oh, my sweet child. Mm. Such a wonderful connection. Love, my dear girl, is offered effortlessly, but unconditional love is offered without any limitations. This is the most difficult aspect of being a parent. Yes, we love our children. We enforce it into their minds since they were young. We tend to their wounds. We wipe their tears. We try our best to remove their fears. But as they age, as they are attempting to make a mark in the world, to find their path, we realize two things. They are no longer our babies, and we wish nothing more than for them to be better than us. Even when we don't realize it, even when we assume they understand how much we love them, they understand that we are always available to them. We also project upon them how we believe they should live their life, how we believe they can become better than us. And that, my sweet girl, does not always come across in love. Remember your own journey. Remember through your mother's frustration. But she didn't always see you or hear you, how that made you feel. Even as you knew she loved you at times, it was natural to feel less love. At times, even though you wanted to turn to her, to really be held, you didn't want to always divulge why you were sad. View yourself through their eyes. It's one thing to allow them, to inform them, to encourage them to come to you, to talk without critique. It's another, my dear, to welcome them. No expectations, no words, no judgment. Welcome them into your arms, just to hold them, just to listen to them, not to become irritated, for no one is perfect. Love them each unconditionally, as you always wish to be loved that way yourself. When you view a child as hurting, you are sensing their soul. Honor that. Offer the soul the compassion, the love. That is free. That is unconditional. When one begins to speak in riddles receive, for their mind is confused. This does not always equate to true love. It comes across as judgment. You live this life. You can change so your children do not live it as well. Yes, my dear, they love you, and they are where you love them. And you are a very good mother. It is these times when they are lost, uncertain, and afraid, where your tone, your words, lead more than comfort. That's what I'm referencing, my dear, as you are aware of that in your own life. Rather than offering them the answers to the solution, encouragement. Encourage them that they will find their own answers and that you will always stand beside them. Even if you do realize the answer, even if you do recognize the road clear, allow them to journey it, allow them to live it. One does not always have to offer the answers. Just the ears, just listen and love is more than enough. And sometimes it's much more impactful than the word you offer in your wisdom. Mm. Mm. Thank you. That was a nice spirit. I enjoyed her. Oof, that was nice. Thank you, Sarah. I enjoyed bringing her in. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody who came late. Oh, boy. That was pretty powerful. Okay, I have another spirit here. I'm sensing this as a brother or a really good friend, like a brother. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. That's beautiful energy. Now, George is what I hear as a name, but I'm also, there's a reference to Curious George, you know, the monkey with the man with the yellow hat. So I'm not certain if this is someone's brother whose name is George, who was quite curious, or if this was someone's brother who really enjoyed that book, Curious George, when he was younger or even older. So, or it could just be not his name is George and a brother who liked that book and it was curious like Curious George. So 3 different ways to look into it. But I definitely feel this is a brother or a really good friend like a brother, but or stepbrother, something in the brother category. I don't find this person to be a father or uncle. It's more like that brotherly love, but there was history. That's why you would remember the Curious George book. But you would probably even say to him that Your curiosity will one day get you in trouble, and I'm kind of feeling that that's not too far from the truth. Both passed. Nana and brother was George. Okay, George, there's the brother's name. Thank you. Give me just a second, because I'm still connected to the other essence. She's still bringing the messages. Father, two stepbrothers. So it's Gels. Nana brother was George. Okay, Father George. I was always curious. Michelle says father named George and was always curious. Okay. But why am I feeling a brother? Haley, you have two stepbrothers that passed. Were any of them curious, like really curious, got him into trouble curious, or named George, or like the book Curious George, that cartoon book, that illustrated book? Yeah, see, I'm not feeling, I don't sense this is a father, guys. I feel this is a younger, I don't even feel that this brother was that old when he passed. I feel this is more of a younger age man passing. Very curious. Okay, great. And Haley, would you understand this curiosity of his got him into trouble? You know, like he wouldn't know when to quit, or he couldn't really see the signs, like if he was gonna get into danger, and he just, he was innocent. He was innocent. Okay, yeah, good. Thank you, Haley. Excellent. And you can understand that this was he passed younger. He's not like, a middle-aged man. He passed younger. That's how I'm sensing this. Addiction. I didn't want to go there, Haley. Thank you. Yes, I was going to say, that was my next question. Can you understand drugs in the picture? I was going to say that next, and you just beat me to it by a second. That's the curious part that we're talking about. That's exactly what this is. That's exactly who this essence is. Okay, so yeah, okay, yeah, guys, thank you. This is I'm feeling it with Haley right now, because she understood the curiosity part of the brother or stepbrother, which assisted to his demise. And she understood exactly what I was going to say, which is perfect. So this is the link, guys. So thank you. But everybody listening anyway, those who feel that they were the spirit, because you never know, message might also be for you. So Haley, I'm sensing that you're not as curious. Where I'm sensing that you've learned from other people's mistakes or other people's journeys, and you're kind of sidestepping a lot of familiar footprints that you could easily go down other paths, but because something like your spidey senses, something is helping you realize, no, I'm not going to go down that path. I'm not following those footsteps. I'm going to go this way or whatever. You just kind of know, you're like, you've been observing everyone basically, and you're learning by people's life lessons. Would you understand that, Haley? And would you understand, Haley, that you're becoming sensitive to energy or spirit that you don't really know the language for, and you're also very hesitant in questioning it? Absolutely, yeah. That's exactly what he's saying here. He's laughing. It's like he's asking you, who do you think is providing you those spidey senses? But I don't think you. I'm sensing that you're not a medium. You're not necessarily convinced that we can communicate the spirit. Would you understand that, Haley? Because I think that's yeah, that's exactly how he's bringing it in. He's got a nice sense of humor. But can you understand that that's where you're on your journey right now? You're like, maybe you want to dip your toe in the water to see if it's warm enough before you jump in. Like you're a little hesitant. You're not totally knocking it. You're not dismissing it, but there's a lot of questions you have and a lot of curiosity and hence the hesitation. Can you understand that, Haley? Interesting. And so, Haley, can you understand, even in this hesitation that you possess? Okay, thank you. Even in this hesitation you possess, some weird stuff is happening that you really hear. You just brush it off like, wow, what a coincidence. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, how'd that happen? But something recently could be a month, a day, an hour ago. It doesn't really have a time frame. But recently, you even heard your name. Like somebody said, they whispered Haley, and you looked around. There's nobody there. Can you remember that, Haley? Did that happen at any time? One of these other crazy coincidences that you put it. Can you understand that, Haley? Can you recall that? Because the way I'm okay, great, Haley. Thank you. Wonderful. So the way I'm understanding this is that he wants you to something about a radio. I don't know if you still have a radio, changing the dials or something like that, or maybe you guys argue with dials and radio. Something about a radio and about changing the dial. Okay, so maybe a few days ago, yeah, that's exactly recent. That's what I thought, right? So something about a radio dial, changing the dial. Now, either you guys fought over a radio channel, maybe in a car, maybe at the house. I want that music. I want that music. Something about radio dial and changing the tune and changing it back and forth. Because what he's bringing forth now is that you're still fussing or putzing with the radio dial. And what he's trying to, he's funny. What he's trying to come across, what he's trying to tell you is that let him work the dial. You just listen to the frequency. Okay? My car stereo isn't working, and I was messing around with it earlier. Okay, great. So what he's that's why he's thinking about the radio. Excellent, perfect. Thank you, Haley. So what he's saying here is that let go of the dial, but he's using it as a metaphor. You understand? What he's trying to say is that all these things that's occurring, all these things that you're experiencing, even hearing your name and looking, there's nobody there, as a whisper, and all these signs that you just think are a massive coincidence. He's telling you that he's trying to tune in the radio dial so you can receive it, and you're over there punching around with the radio dial. So even in the car where you keep doing the radio dial, just accept it. Okay? Don't question every single sign or everything that's happening, because he's continuing to shift the radio dial in order for you to receive it. So he's basically saying the same thing, like you're dismissing it before you're tuning into it. Same with the car station, the car radio. You're dismissing it. You're trying to find it, but you can still hear the music just enough, and you move it and you distort the message of the music. Same exact analogy he's giving. Would you understand that, Haley? And there's another stepbrother you have. Would it be his brother? Something with a P? Peter? Paul? P. Pret? I don't know. Some kind of a name. Now, his brother, your other stepbrother, he's not open whatsoever. Is how I'm receiving this. You're the one that's more open. He's not. Now, why he's saying this is because he's kind of working on both radio dials, yours and his is like he shuts the whole radio off. he's, he's not even bothering with a dial. He just shuts it off. Can you understand that, Haley? Where you're more receptive. Okay? And this is where he's coming in now. Something about there's a role you're playing and you're not realizing it. Okay? Can you understand? Just Haley, just to verify that he has a brother who's alive, you're the stepbrother who's very close to all of this, and you're a little bit more open, but you're still a little bit resistant because that brother is also telling you, Ben, who shut it off. Great, Haley. Fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. And Ben is mocking you. He's telling you that you're nuts, like all the other mediums are nuts. Because you're focusing and paying attention or something to that effect. All right. He's going to come in now for you, Haley. Hey. You can sense my presence near because it's energetic frequency. The music that emits from the radio is frequency, also energy. Even you are frequency, not just body. Body dies, frequency never does. Energy lives on. You want to believe. You even want to believe. These are actually my words, but you question. You question because others don't believe. And you wonder if they don't believe, why should you? But you open the window just enough. Just enough my frequency to blend with yours. All we need is a little reception, a little acceptance, window opening just a crack. And all the signs we send, feeling us near, hearing your name in a whisper, is what you receive. So don't question it. Because if you stand your ground, not care what they say about you or think of you, then he will open up. He'll open the window a crack. And others will. So continue to open the window even more. Don't be scared. I won't bite. All we are is love. That's all you'll ever feel. You're meant to open the window. There's a purpose behind it that you're still unaware of. But I promise you, it's quite a powerful purpose. And I'll be here to help guide you along the entire journey. You're smart. You're caring and you're loving. Opening the window a little more is natural for you. Just trust in that. Mm. Mm. Very nice. Powerful energy. Wow, that was nice. Oh, okay. Thank you, Haley. That was fun. Thank you. It's my honor. So as I was coming back, everybody, I heard the shouting of a name, Helen. So, and I'm feeling a mother's presence. Now, I don't have any idea if her name is Helen, if you're Helen, if somebody's Helen, but she's shouting to make certain that I connect to her next and that you're focusing and listening because apparently you're not listening and she's trying to connect and she's trying or you went through another medium or something has happened where she's bringing forth and you're not focusing, you're not believing, you're not listening. So she's shouting, Helen, even louder. So again, Helen may be a name, maybe not be a name. Helen. Okay, sunshine. Good. So then right there, because you yelled Helen and you know it's your mother, she's in spirit. Is your mother in spirit, sunshine? That's why she screamed at Helen because she knows you're going to recognize the name and connect to your mother. Would that be your mother in spirit? Yes, thank you, sunshine. Okay, now is it safe to assume that another doubting Thomas that you've been to a medium or more than one medium? But recently, I'm sensing recently you've been to a medium or a circle with a medium or something like that, where they were bringing in evidence of your mother, and it wasn't smooth, fluid, or you were seeking something specific and you dismissed it. Can you understand that, or would a friend Helen have done that? Um, but something about that, about a quick dismissal, you wanted to, but you dismissed it because something wasn't accurate. Something was off. Instead of a yellow jacket, it was a red jacket, or something like that. Where you were reading between the lines, you were trying to match it perfectly, or Helen was trying to match it perfectly. Can you understand why she's bringing this up? Hmm. Because it's not just with her, it's you. You're doubting a lot of people. You're doubting. You're looking for proof. You're looking for proof in almost everything. I think that proof makes you accept. It's like even love. Prove it to me that you love me. Show me you love me. Or friends. Why do you like me? Why are you hanging out with me? Show me. Like, can you understand what you're saying here about proof? That you're looking for proof. You're afraid to just accept it on the surface level. It's not right with your mind. I'm sensing you're extremely intelligent, and that's why you're probably seeking more proof. But you're relying on the mind more than your heart to make sure she's happy. Yeah. Okay, sunshine. This is exactly why she's coming in because you understand this. So this is exactly what she's saying. You're dismissive. You're dismissive because you're using your intellect too much. You're looking for proof. You're looking for people to show you. I gotta see it. Like, hold up a banner. You love me. We're a friend. I'm there for you. Hold up the banner. I need the proof. You're intellectualizing too much, right? and you're bypassing what you feel in the heart. You know, if someone says they love you, you immediately feel it in the heart, but then your brain kicks in and you start analyzing why I have flaws, or why. What do you want trying to get from me? Or the friends, the same thing. You're always cautious because you're intellectualizing rather than focusing on how their words or their intention or their action affected your heart where it landed. Can you understand that, Sunshine? Because now she's saying something about you feel her in your heart, but you're intellectualizing. Ah, that can't be possible. Oh, that's not her. Oh, she's dead. She's dead. She's in heaven. She's not here. Again, the same thing is happening. You're looking for proof. You're intellectualizing. Can you understand this pattern she's explaining about you, where you're more in the head, seeking proof, but you're not feeling in the heart? Can you understand that, Sunshine? I think she died. She was suffering. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but thank you for sharing that. But can you understand what you're saying about you? Yep. Okay, yes, you're having conversations with her in your mind, but are you feeling it in your heart? Okay, that's what's happening. That's what she's focusing on. Anyway, let her finish this. Mm. You're my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Mm. Feel me in your heart now. Feel it expand. It expands so it even hurts. You feel a surge of warmth. You're emotional. Tears are flowing. This is love. True, pure love. Notice this feeling in the heart is what you have always felt with my presence near you. When you were young and I comforted you. Through your accomplishments, and I was proud of you. Even the look in our eyes when there were no words spoken, and you felt it in your heart. Even others, when they hold you in an embrace, again, you feel similar sensations in the heart. But the pain you now carry is like a rock in the river. It's not allowing the flow of love to flow freely and effortlessly. That's why it feels like pain. When you think, the mind is tricky. I do hear your words. I do hear your thoughts. But sometimes your imagination overrides the message I'm sending you. But now, feel your heart. Each time you feel this expanse of love, know I'm taking away your pain. Love does not possess pain. The human mind does. So I will continue to remove every rock you place in the river. I will continue to fill your heart with more love. And I will continue to communicate every possible way I can. Continue to speak with me. But before you receive the answer, feel me in your heart first. And let the answer arise from your heart into your brain. And that is how you know it's me. Fully me. Now, notice how your heart feels smoother, not as painful. And now notice how you can feel me very close to you. Just sensing chills on the neck, even the slight pressure by your cheek, as if I am kissing you. All of this is created through love. And this is how we have always been connected and eternally shall. I'm not gone. You just can't see me. But you can always feel me. Let's remove one rock at a time. I'm patient. And you are patient. But I promise you, I'm still holding your hand. I'm still loving you. I'm still walking beside you. And now, I'm taking care of your heart for you. You are sunshine, my sunshine. You make me happy. How much I love you. Please take my sunshine. That's a lot of love. That's a lot of love. Woo! I am rocking. I feel that love just shaking me all over the place. Oh, that was fun. Oh, sometimes that flow of energy is just so powerful. Thank you, Sunshine. It was an honor. I really love that energy. Okay, guys, I have another. This one here again is singing. They're all just saying words or singing phrases or books. This is Jeremiah had a bullfrog, and it came out. Jeremiah had a boom, boom, boom. So now I'm feeling this is a rocker. Just the matches that music. Thank you, Sunshine. It was an honor. Thank you very much. Um, the same music, Jeremiah, boom, frog. This is the kind of person he would sing with that enthusiasm. This was the kind of music he liked. It was a he. I don't want to say hippie. I want to say rock. I just want to say that kind of a personality, that kind of like this kind of music. Definitely a dungarees, a jeans kind of a guy, t-shirt kind of a guy, just a very average Joe guy. Something about mechanics. I don't know if he's a mechanic or maybe punched around his car a little bit or didn't mind getting dirty, greasy. I don't know if this is a friend or a brother or a cousin. I'm sensing a younger guy, and I'm sensing one of those, which really is still a friend, right? A cousin could be a friend, a brother could be a friend, and a friend could be a friend. So I'm just feeling this is what that person is. But something about him, he was full of life, and he wouldn't mind singing. He would just sit there and sing these songs that came on the radio. He'd be like, "Oh man," and start singing. Dungarees, yeah, Kim, right? So again, this is the kind of person you'd be hanging out with, maybe in the car or at a park, or music was around, and even as if he's speaking and having a conversation with you, and the song comes on that he knows, he's like, "Yeah," and started singing along, or jam, or something he'd say. You say, bud, yeah, rock on, yeah, jam it. Something he was saying to start singing the song and look every word. And this is when you'd be like, whoa, dude, what's going on? Johnny Cash. Hi, Kayana. I don't know if it's a father. I don't know if it's a father, but let me just hold on to that, Kayana. Let's see if we have anybody else here who can understand a younger guy. Rock and roll. Okay. So let's back up, guys. So I have no responses yet. Okay. This spirit was very was a musician. Okay. I'm sensing this spirit that I have right now. It doesn't mean, guys, your fathers are not around here, because that could be the overlapping sometime. Okay, Gels, yep. This is more. This spirit is a younger man. I don't feel he reached middle age. I just don't. I just sense that he still has that boyish charm, very much into that kind of rock and roll music, classic rock music, just something like that kind of, maybe even had his hair long, not a hippie, not a big rocker, just, maybe shoulder length, just, his personality was very much where musician. Okay, could be Starlight. Let's see. Yeah, ex-boyfriend. I didn't think about boyfriend, right? Brother, friend, could be an ex. I can take that. Neeks could take that. Okay, so he was 23. Okay, Neeks. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel him young, right? Okay, so Starlight and Neeks. Okay, now this is the personality where he would, if the music was on, he just starts singing, no matter what. Okay. Now, even if you were speaking to him in the conversation and the music came up, he would still be singing, but he'd be humming rather than singing the lyrics because you're busy speaking. So this guy would just he loved to sing or loved the music and loved the words. And that's exactly how he was. Always dancing and singing. Yeah, okay, cool. And even if you spoke, if you were speaking and the music came up, he would be still humming the music while you were speaking. Look, I hear you, keep going, but he still keep humming it. He wouldn't stop. He would. It's not like he couldn't. He just loved it. Music moved him, and that's how he was expressive because he was free. And that's also why you love being around him because he lived life light, like nothing really bothered him, and he had that freedom to him, and that's why he loved his music and he sang all the time. Where you were more like the worry wart. You would always maybe even go to him with every little possible thing, and sometimes he wouldn't even respond to what you were worried about. He would just grab you and start dancing or singing or be silly and make jokes or something to get your head out of wherever it was stuck in. Can you understand that, Neeks or Starlight? Mechanic, jeans and t-shirt. Mechanic, that's exactly what I got, Neeks. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Jeans and t-shirt mechanic. Or dungarees, as we say it. So, Neeks, can you understand that this is why you love being around him, even if you didn't realize it, that he lived his life, lived it. He lived. He loved, he lived, he loved music. He didn't let everything weigh him down. And you're not my, thank you, Starlight. Thank you. I think I got Neeks too. Thank you, because I think she always got the mechanic and the jeans and the t-shirt. So I think we're going to go with Neeks here. Thank you, though, Starlight, for listening. Please listen on for the message. The message is probably going to overlap with you too, because most likely you'll have your spirit overlapping. That's why there's similarities in personalities. So the message may apply to you as well. And okay, and you too, Sunshine. Absolutely. So Sunshine and Starlight, please listen anyways. Let's not just cut him out. And we're gonna just kind of go with Neeks here because I think she's got the okay, Neeks. Okay, there you go. There you go. So that's what he's coming in to talk about that, Neeks, about you forget to live life. You just forget. You get caught up in it. You forget to live it. Why are there seasons? Why is there sunshine? And then there are clouds. Why is there rain and then there's snow? Seasons symbolize change. A life path symbolizes change. But just as you don't allow the seasons to affect your mood, to affect who you are, to affect your smile, why do you continue to allow life to affect you? Things are always changing, you know that. But notice how throughout your life, there's always laughter. There's always music. There's always something to look forward to. And now notice how that deep laugh really resonates inside. How that great song touches the soul. How those who love you courses right through you. That love. All of that is effortless. There's no roadmap. There's no analyzing. It's real. It's your soul responding, your soul remembering, your soul loving. And now, let's focus on you. Focus on the struggles, the problems, the pain, the fear, anxiety, confusion. This attacks your self-worth. Then you sense hopelessness. And you question your life. None of that is part of your soul. That's the human mind. There is no death. There is no end. If there was, how could you not only hear my words, but feel my presence near you now? Don't continue to look at the glass half empty. Sing. Listen to music. Laugh. Walk in nature. Dance in the rain. All of these acts fill that half empty glass. It's always full because you can always make it full. You just choose not to. That's your choice because it's your life. You can continue to see it half full, worry, cry, fear, even experience more pain than you need to experience. But you can recognize that everything is a passing moment. There's still a full cup. You can still dance, sing, laugh, even when you're crying. You just choose not to. So are you truly living your life? Or do you just think you're living your life? Who else is going to say it to you straight? Who else knows how to live life? Oh, that was nice. Oof. Did he have a big mustache, a big thick mustache? Like, you know, if he's smart, the mustache has to go up his nose. Or does somebody else have a spirit with a big fat mustache? I just felt this massive mustache on me, really thick. No, Kiana. Okay, Neeks. Wonderful. All right. So hopefully, like I said, Starlight and Sunshine, hopefully the message can relate to you guys too. probably overlapping spirits. Thank you, Niece. Thank you. It was an honor. You just remembered something and forgot from my partner who just passed. Cool. All right. See how they work? That's how they work together all the time. Oh my God, we went over, guys. The moderator didn't tell me anything. I got lost in the fun. I'm so sorry. Woo, that was fun. Thank you, Nick. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for allowing me this opportunity to just sit with the love of all your spirit loved ones. Oh, amazing, incredible. I love that energy. And come back next week, and hopefully one of your other those who didn't receive from their loved ones, hopefully next week they will come through. But remember, they're always with you guys. You don't need a medium to connect to them. Just sit in your silence and they're right there. Don't be distracted by the mind, and you can always, feel them all the time and even receive messages. You don't necessarily need a message or medium to bring that message through, because they're always offering you messages all the time. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Trance Evidential. Take care. Be good to yourselves. Love yourselves. Thanks, everybody.